It was like a Robin Sage exercise. All right, man, you're going to fly into Krakow, Poland. You're going to meet up with this guy. Did you bring the body armor? It's like, yeah, I brought body armor for us. It's like, cool. Do you know how to drive a stick shift? It's like, yeah. It's like, okay, you can drive this. We're going over to this place and we're going to bring women and children out. There was one point in the chaos of the initial invasion where the Russians were coming this way and we were driving this way on a road. And I was like, those are Russians. Something about Ukraine is just, it's pulling at me. And I don't know why. And he's like, well, what do you want to do? So I don't know. I mean, I feel like I should go over there, but I don't know if I want to fight. I've done enough of that. I was like, there's got to be something bigger. Something, I don't know what my purpose is. And he said, well, I can help you figure it out. I was like, what are you talking about, Dave? He goes, yeah, we got a YWAM campus in Kyiv. And the people that volunteered to stay behind, they're running buses to all of the suburb areas that the Russians are coming into and evacuating people out. It's like, they've never been to war before. They could probably use your help, just to stay alive. It's like, would you want to do that? And it just hit me like a ton of bricks. So I quit my contracting job and I headed over there in the middle of March. And it was like a Robin Sage exercise. All right, man, you're going to fly into Krakow, Poland. You're going to meet up with this guy so get from the airport to this hotel. You're going to stay at this hotel 2 days. You're going to meet up with this guy. He doesn't speak English, but he's going to take you to the border. Then you're going to get dropped off and get with another guy who's a border expert. I was like, border expert? All right, cool. Really great guy, doesn't speak English. You'll be fine. It's like, okay, great. So then you're going to get to a safe house. Another guy's going to pick you up and bring you all the way into Kyiv. And then you'll link up with the YWAM guys and start to work. Any questions? And I was like, I've been through a scenario like this before. It's called Robin Sage. So, all right. So, of course, it's like, all right, job's been quit. Dawn, my wife, she's strangely extremely comfortable with it. Like, yeah, this is a good cause. It's like, no, you're Ukraine. Yeah, I know. It's a good cause. You're going to help people. Ukraine. The Russia-Ukraine, the war. I know. Okay. And so I head over there, and of course the plan goes as plans always go. Guy shows up 5 hours late, get to the border, and then, I'm able to get across fairly easily. The border guards are like, American. Okay. And then those two words that I hate the most, good luck. It's like, God bless America. All right. So now safe house, and then Ukrainian who turned out to be one of my good friends, Max, picks me up, and we're heading to Kyiv. And Kyiv is a ghost town. No traffic, no vehicles, nothing's moving. It's like, holy cow. So I get to the YWAM campus, get some sleep, and they say, hey, we're doing a run. Did you bring the body armor? It's like, yeah, I brought body armor for us. It's like, cool. Do you know how to drive a stick shift? It's like, yeah. It's like, okay, you can drive this. We're going over to this place and we're going to bring women and children out. Oh, like right now? Yeah.
Wow.
Like right now. So hit the ground running with these kids. They were all low 20s. And they wanted to help so badly. And their way of contributing was to evacuate women and children out of areas that the Russians were moving into because men had to stay and fight. And so now all of a sudden, I'm sitting here and we're evacuating people out of the suburbs of Kyiv and a little bit further beyond, but it got a little risky if you started heading to, if you try to skirt around the Russian lines, you could find yourself in a bad situation really quick. So we were staying in areas where we had clear, withdrawal is a military term, but we had a clear way out if we needed to. If it got, and there was a couple instances where Ukrainians, would stop us, shut all lights off. Everyone's real quiet as that Sioux fighter flies overhead or whatever it is, But for the most part, it's just we're going to these areas and these families that are just been ripped apart by war. The wife and the kids are saying probably their final goodbyes to their husband as he's being armed. At that point, here's an AK. You guys are leaving. You're going with them. And I'm watching all this unfold. And I'm seeing the worst and the best of humanity. I'm seeing the purest and the evilest. That's not really a word, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Of humanity. People are charging in to defend their homes. And we're charging in to evacuate out their families. And so now I'm starting to see that the mental health struggles that I've had, whether it was my childhood or, my injury or what other self-induced, entitled, victimized pitfalls that I've fallen into throughout my life, I'm starting to see that none of that really matters right now because I'm doing something that's bigger than myself. I'm doing something that is helping other people, and I'll get a thank you, but that's it.
Yeah.
I'll never see these people again. I won't even know whatever even happened to them. And all of a sudden, I'm starting to feel this purpose to my life and this reason for Ryan Hendrickson. I'm starting to see this rough outline of who Ryan Hendrickson is. And everything that had happened to me, whether I did it to myself or it was done to me, now all of a sudden, it's not fading away. It's always going to be there with you. One of the biggest mistakes people make in their mental health journey is they want the situation that happened to them in the past, whatever it was, whether it was a rape or it was abuse or it was a traumatic injury or it was losing a buddy in combat, whatever it was, people try to make it disappear like it never happened. I want this out of my mind, out of my life. This never happened. I'm done. How do I do that? You can't. It's impossible. And they will fight so hard to make this situation like it never happened instead of understanding that it did happen. And there's nothing you can do about it. This is a part of your life. Now you're at the forks in the road like my dad told me. Are you going to use it to make yourself stronger and help other people, or are you going to become a victim of it? And that's where a lot of the breakdown happens with mental health. But I was laying back at night after a mission, and we're unarmed. We're just going in. There was one point in the chaos of the initial evasion where the Russians were coming this way and we were driving this way on a road. And I was like, those are Russians. Yeah. It was because the lines were blurred. But I was laying back at night and you can hear the explosions in the outskirts of the city. And you can, you would just listen to it and hear it. And I was laying back at night and I just remembered, I was that fulfillment that I was getting, that I did something that was bigger than myself. I did something that was making me the man that I wanted to be when I was laying there next to the Helmand River. And I looked back in disgust at who I was as a man. March 2022, I was proud of myself for once in my life. First time in my life.
That's the first time you've ever been proud of yourself.
Yeah. First time in my life I had a purpose and I was proud of myself.
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.